decided to film back-to-back videos. The video before this was my top 10 books 2015. I thought I would tell you guys what books I'm planning to read in 2016. Now, a couple of years ago, I think, not last year, but the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, I did my most anticipated reads of the upcoming year, and I really researched heavily into them and all that kind of stuff. I did not do that this year. I feel like I just decided to make a list of the books that I want to read in 2016, whether they're going to be newly published or not. And I thought I would share with you guys what my plans are for 2016. If you see my goals video, you know I'm only really wanting to read books that I want to read, if that makes sense, not books I'm somewhat interested in. So I've comprised this list of books that I want to read in 2016. I've broken it up into 2 parts. Books I will definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, be reading, and books that I probably might be interested in reading, if that makes sense. So you got a definitely will read, and then a perhaps, maybe so, I'm interested in reading it, because I just think that's this whole list is going to shape up, I think, my year of reading, honestly. Let's get into it. All these books are not in order, by the way. I just made a Goodreads list, and I just ticked them off. First category I will be talking about is the books I will definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, be reading in 2016. The first book is The Raven King, and that's by Maggie Stiefvater, and it comes out April 26th. This is going to be the 4th and final book in the Raven cycle. I'm very excited for this book, but I'm very sad because I do not want this series to be over at all. I love this series. It's a paranormal, very interesting, different type of series. I would explain it more, but it's just so complicated to explain. I have book reviews on each of the books. Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, and Blue Lily. So check them out. Like I said, it's a paranormal, very unique, very different from any YA book you will ever read. It's amazing. I love this series, and I will definitely be reading The Raven King the day it comes out, because I cannot wait to see how it wraps up. The next book is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and that comes out May 3rd. This is the second book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I don't know what it's called exactly, but it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling with fantasy and fairy tale, if you will. I love the first book. It was my #1 favorite of this past year, so of course I'm going to read the second one. Of course. It's amazing. The romance factor, amazing. The plot, amazing. Everything about this book, amazing. With that, another book I will be reading is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This came out this past year, and I did not read it all. I didn't really attempt to be reading it this next year. I need to finish it. I need to read it, and I definitely will be reading it, even though it daunts me looking at it. Oh boy. But the covers are great, and I know I'll love it, but I just need to read it. The next book I will definitely be reading is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, which comes out March 8th. This is her new series. If you've read the Mortal Instruments series or the Infernal Devices series, I should not explain it to you. It's going to be amazing, and I'm so excited to read it. So excited. It's Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and that comes out November 8th. And this is her new series. It's like she's very good at fairy tale retellings, obviously, with the Lunar Chronicles. But this one is about I think it takes place from the point of view of the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, so we're going to get that kind of, fairy tale retelling, and I'm so excited. I know that this is going to be an amazing read, and I literally can't wait. And it's going to be out in a year, so we gotta wait. With that, she's also releasing Stars Above, which comes out February 2nd. This is all of the novellas, and she's written at least half of them in this book are new from the Lunar Chronicles, which I will be reading this as soon as it comes out, because I just finished the Lunar Chronicles and I'm in book hangover for real, so I will definitely take a book full of novellas from this series, and I will love them and cherish them forever. The next book is A Torch Against the Night, which comes out August 30th, and this is by Saba Tahir. This is the second book, and I believe the last book in the Ember and Ashes duology, I guess. I think Ember and the Ashes was supposed to be a standalone, but she decided to make a second book, which I'm so happy for. It's a fantasy book, and it was such a cliffhanger. I really can't wait for this next one, and it's just going to be amazing, I think. The sequel is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee I pronounced that so wrong. This is the second book in the Wrath at Dawn, or I forget the actual name of the series. This is a take on 1001 Nights, and the first book was amazing. It was in my top 10. I loved it so much, so of course I can't wait to read the second one. It's The Last Star by Rick Yancey, which comes out May 24th. This is the last book in the Fifth Wave trilogy. I'm excited but nervous about this one. I love the Fifth Wave. You guys know that. A couple years ago, it was my favorite book of that year. And the second one came out, and I didn't really enjoy it at all. I felt like it shouldn't have even been in the trilogy. So I'm excited but very apprehensive about this last book, if I'm honest. But nevertheless, I will definitely be reading it to see how it all wraps up, of course. Next book is Summer Days and Summer Nights, coming out June 14th. If you have read My True Love Gave It to Me, which is like a 12 holiday stories edited by Stephanie Perkins, it's quintessentially the same thing, only in summer. So of course I will be reading this because it's going to be amazing. It's got a lot of contemporary stories, and we all know I'm a sucker for contemporary. It's The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which comes out May 3rd. Another contemporary book. Morgan Matson is one of my favorite contemporary authors, and anything she will ever publish, I will read because I love her. Next book is Lady Renegade by Rachel Hawkins. This is the last book in the Rebel Belle trilogy, which comes out April 12th. Much like The Fifth Wave, whereas I love the first book, Rebel Belle, a ton. The second book, Miss Mayhem, I did not like at all, so I'm excited for this book, but yet again, very apprehensive about it. I'm going to definitely read it, but I don't know how it's gonna go. Will I like it? Will I not? I don't know. Those books that I talked about are books I will definitely, without a shadow of doubt, be reading for sure. Now, the next part I'm gonna tell you about is the books that I probably will read, interested in. You know, these are my maybe, maybe not list. So I'm gonna go through these very quickly because I don't want it to be a super long video. We have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. This is a time travel novel. I probably will read this, but I put it in this list, you know, because I don't know if I will or not. You know, I want to get around to it, but who knows. I love her Darkest Minds trilogy, even though I haven't finished it, but I think I will be reading this. It's The Revolution of Ivy. This is the second book in the, what's the first one called? The Book of Ivy, and I think I can read it pretty quickly. I would like to read it. If I don't, it's not a big deal. Another book is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Septis. Or I pronounced that wrong. This is a historical YA fiction. I really, really want to read this. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't, but I want to read it, and I'm including it on this list. Books I would love to read in 2016 are the Young Elites trilogy, or I don't know, by Maria Lu. I love Maria Lu's Legend trilogy. It's an amazing trilogy. Why I haven't read these two books already, I don't know. But it's another fantasy, I think. I don't know exactly what it's about, but I've heard really good things about it. So I would love to read The Young Elites and The Rose Society, and I'm sure the last one's probably going to come out this year. And I really would just love to, I don't know, I think maybe if the last one does come out in 2016, I might wait until that one gets closer to the publication date and just go ahead and marathon the whole trilogy, because that's the thing I want to start doing, you know, just to get the whole feel of a series, just to read all of them at once and love them all. So I think I really want to get to these. I really honestly do. Another book is Things I Can't Explain by Mitchell Kriegman. This is like a take on Clarissa Explains It All, like how she is all grown up. It sounds interesting and awesome, and I want to get to it. Some other books that are not released yet, but I want to read, but I don't know if I will or not. The Shadow Queen, which comes out February 16th. It's like a new fantasy thing. It looks pretty interesting. The Forbidden Wish, which comes out February 23rd, which is like almost like an Arabian type of thing, I think. It looks really interesting. I would love to read it. Same with Rebel of the Sands, which comes out March 8th, I believe. Last book is Truth Witch, which comes out January 5th, and this looks like an amazing fantasy series. So yeah, starting with those very quickly, you know, I just wanted to mention, you know, maybe I'll read those, maybe I won't. Like I said, I'm setting this list for myself, you know, a basis that of books I want to read. I'm not going, I think what's going to work for me in 2016 is if I already know what books I'm really somewhat interested in, I'll, you know, won't have to look at my shelf and pick one at random and not even really like it, if that makes any sense. You know, I have this list. I have books that I've read the blurbs of. It sounds really intriguing to me, and I would really love to give them a shot because I think I would really enjoy them. So I have my books I would definitely will read, and then I have books that I'm interested in reading, if this makes sense at all. So this is just loosely, honestly, a 2016 reads list, if I guess that's what it's gonna be called. I don't know. I hope this video makes sense. I feel like I'm just talking nonsense. Anyway, if there are any more upcoming releases that I don't know about, which are probably a lot, please let me know. Like, you guys know what I like, right? Right? Probably. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any books, because I seriously need to know how to put it on my list. I'm a list maker through and through, a planner at heart. That is what I do. I did not mean to rhyme. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
Take your time with me.